Back in the late 19th century, the son of the local rector used to scale the heights of this tower. He went on to become one of England's most famous mountaineers. Find out who he was and where he practised in just a few moments.
On the show today, we're helping an entrepreneurial couple flee city life and find a new dream home and a new business in the country. There are discussions over where the in-laws will stay.
You do get a barn?
OK, yeah.
And plans are afoot for Santa's arrival.
We put a Christmas tree up there. All the presents underneath.
Today I'm in Cheshire, and behind me is St Wilfrid's Church in the village of Mobberley, where George Mallory was born and spent his childhood years. Mallory set his sights on being the first man to climb the highest mountain in the world, Everest. Whether or not he reached the summit remains a mystery, though, as on June 1924, during his final ascent, he got caught in a snowstorm and was never seen alive again. When his body was eventually discovered, much later in 1999, it was missing one vital piece of equipment, his camera. And many believe, until that's found, we'll never truly know whether or not he was successful.
For the past 10 years, Steve and Anna have lived in the city of Leeds, but have decided to leave the bustle of urban life behind and head out to the country.
I think now's the right time, because it's a stage where the kids are going to school, and also I think it's a lifestyle choice as well. I think the main difference it's going to have is certainly on the kids and the upbringing that they get. Where we live here in Leeds, it's 2 miles outside of the city centre, and it's a much different lifestyle than living in a more rural environment.
Family ties have dictated the location for the new home.
Ideally, I'd like to move to North Cheshire. That's where my parents have got a family farm that I grew up on.
Their desire to move is linked to their plan to start their own business.
We realised that there's an opportunity in terms of kind of farms, and it's the sort of thing that we would travel to go and do, is to take the children to a farm.
And also, you know, maybe around the equestrian type business, because that's the current business that my family have got.
The whole family is excited by the prospect of a new lifestyle.
Joseph's 3.5 now, and Holly's just turned 19 months. Holly can already say tractor, she knows lots of the animal kind of noises and things like that, and Joseph is already saying we might get goats when we move house. So I think they are starting to get excited.
But they're not looking for the archetypal farming lifestyle.
Somewhere that's within easy reach of a small town, or we don't want to be too far remote.
I think I probably would stay in the job I've got at Leeds and see how commuting goes.
And what do they have to spend on their rural relocation?
The budget for this move is £650,000.
Our buyers have asked us to focus our search in the north of the county, to be within reasonable distance of Steve's family in Warrington. But before we begin our property hunt, I'm meeting them in Cheshire to learn more about what they're after in their new home and business venture.
So, as a farmer's son, growing up on a farm, this is, what, a return to your roots, isn't it, Steve?
Yeah, it is, yeah. My parents have got a family farm over in Cheshire, and that's where I grew up for 20 years, and then we moved over to Yorkshire, and we've been there since, so yeah, it will be a move back to my roots.
Well, let's talk about the house first, OK? How big does it need to be?
We've got 2 children, so ideally 4 beds.
What are you looking for from your living spaces?
Well, hopefully open plan kitchen diner. You know, we've got that at the moment, and we do spend quite a lot of time in the kitchen, and then maybe doors out to the garden from there. That's what we've got, and it seems to really work for us at the moment. But I think we're pretty flexible on everything else.
I mean, 4 bedrooms. I know you've got 2 children.
Yeah,
yourselves.
we could live with 3.
Could you? I mean,
yeah.
We could live with something on a smaller scale and be quite happy.
Outside, now this is where your maybe business or enterprise element comes in, doesn't it?
With having the kids quite young, obviously, we spend quite a bit of time going to, you know, sort of urban farms and, you know, sort of the tourist attractions, that sort of thing. So maybe something with a play barn, you know, a few animals, that sort of thing.
Yeah, along the lines of that, farm shop, you know, more of a small holding than a full-scale farm.
So how much land do you think you'd like to have?
Ideally 5-10 acres to give some development and scope there.
So what sort of budget do you have?
It's 650,000.
Yeah.
And that's set?
Yes.
Well, this may be the calm before the storm. So let's finish our coffees,
Okay.
and then we'll drive to the first place.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
On a budget of £650,000, Steve and Anna are looking for 3 to 4 bedrooms, a large kitchen diner, 5 to 10 acres of land, outbuildings to accommodate their business ideas, a rural location close to a town or village, and not too far from family in Warrington. We have 3 wonderful properties to show them, and at each one, I'll test their valuation skills as they work out what the properties might be worth. The third is the mystery house, which has been chosen to take them out of their comfort zone.
So, Anna, what do you like with animals?
I'm getting braver.
Getting braver. That suggests some form of fear, then.
Yeah, the bigger ones, yeah, scare me a little bit. But goats and things like that, I think I could maybe handle. I think we'll leave Steve with the cows.
We begin our search in the village of Kingsley in the north of the county, around half an hour from Steve's family in Warrington. Nearby is the Anglo-Saxon town of Frodsham, once a thriving 13th century port situated between the River Weaver and Mersey estuary. Today, it's a vibrant market town with a variety of independent shops, and much of the architecture is a reminder of its heritage. A few miles down the road is the village of Kingsley, and off a quiet lane in a semi-rural position is the first house we're showing them.
This is where I start to find out what you're really after. So house number 1 is obviously straight in front of us. What's your thoughts?
I like it.
Yeah, it looks nice. House
Yeah,
looks
yeah,
lovely
looks
from outside, doesn't
yeah.
it? Looks nice.
You like the position?
Yeah, it's got a bit of curb appeal, yeah.
Yeah, great view.
Good. We'll talk about the barn later,
Okay.
all right?
Yeah.
Small animals, not big ones. Small ones.
This renovated farmhouse has undergone radical restoration and extension over the last 3 years, but retains its character features within a modern interior. Entering via a spacious entrance hall, we're heading for the kitchen diner.
Let's start off in the kitchen.
Very nice. That's lovely, yeah.
Plenty of
It's
space,
exactly
yeah.
what we kind of go for from
Yeah.
the kitchen, open plan. Very light,
Yeah.
patio doors out.
This is exactly what you
Yeah.
said, wasn't it,
Yeah.
Anna? You said you wanted
Yeah, I
open
want
plan
open
kitchen
plan.
diner with doors outside.
Yeah.
Ta-da.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you've done it.
definitely
Yeah.
ticks that box.
Doesn't feel ultra modern. Still feels like a you
No,
know, a
yeah.
country house,
Yeah.
doesn't it? But
Yeah.
No, I love
That's
the barn
nice.
conversion type things that have been, you know, modernised.
Yeah.
And, you know, that balance you get between the two, it is exactly what we'd go for, really,
Yeah,
isn't it?
definitely, yeah.
you've also got a utility right out of the way and a downstairs loo
Right.
Oh, yeah.
with the back door going out. So,
No,
happy?
very impressed, yeah.
Yeah, no, it's nice.
Good. OK, let's check out the living room next.
Okay.
It's got a really handy little office that used to be a downstairs shower room.
Right.
Okay.
More compact. What do you
Yeah.
think?
Yeah, again, it's really nice. It's well done out. It's nice character with the wood burner.
Yeah.
You know, quite like that, yeah. Not the biggest room, but it's...
Yeah, for a living room, yeah. It does. It still feels a little bit small, yeah.
It is, I mean, it is, but I think because you've got that big
Yeah.
kitchen dining room, I think you'd probably spend most of the time in there, wouldn't you?
yeah,
Yeah.
we do as a family anyway.
Yeah.
Let's take a look at the master bedroom, shall we?
Great.
Yeah.
Just squeeze through. There you go.
Upstairs are 3 double bedrooms. 2 and 3 are served by a modern shared bathroom. But first, I'm showing them where they might sleep.
This is clearly the master, because you've got a built-in wardrobe, a walk-in wardrobe, and
Nice
ensuite.
sweet.
Yeah.
Again, it's
Nice.
nice.
Yeah, it's nicely done.
nicely done, nice and
Yeah.
clean and modern, which is
Yeah.
what we go for, really, isn't it? So great to have the ensuite as well.
What you don't get is a spare bedroom.
Okay.
Might be options in the future with these outbuildings anyway, so should we go and take a peek at those?
Yeah, that's
Okay,
great.
cool.
Yeah.
The grounds of the property will be the clincher. To the rear is a secluded hedge-lined lawned garden with patio area. To the front, there's more lawn along with plenty of off-road parking, a double garage, a barn and paddock area.
Well, Someone's divided this up for different breeds for you already, haven't they?
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
Yeah?
Now, you don't get a huge amount of land. I mean, the whole plot available is about an acre.
Right.
Okay?
Yeah.
But you can see how an internal workings of a petting zoo or whatever you decide to
Yeah.
work here, can't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's whether an acre is enough, you know, to expand things beyond a certain size, really.
Obviously, there's not a whole amount of land here. So when I go outside to that paddock and figure out if it can work or maybe not work for you.
Great,
Yeah.
I think these outbuildings offer some real potential if planning consent could be gained for some sort of visitor attraction.
This really is the extent of your land. So I know we're squeezing the land option for you, aren't we?
You know, the house, lovely house, great. I could see us living in something like that.
Yeah.
You know, the barns, you know, great start of something you could build on there. It's whether there's enough land, and I think maybe squeezing it too much.
And if you put in a car park or something like that, I guess if it's a
you've
short
got to
walk,
have,
you know,
if people are going to visit, you've got to have car parking facilities.
How many people do you think might be here at one time?
There can be up to 20 cars, can't there, at one time, so it's a fair...
Well, in that case, it's going to be a bit of a push, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is option one. You're starting to maybe get a grasp of what actually you do want and also what you might be able to afford. So have a guess at the price. How much do you think this place is on the market for?
Somewhere around 575.
OK. Anna?
I'm going to go slightly lower, I think, at 565.
All right. Well, this house is on the market for offers around £590,000.
OK.
Now, it was on the market for offers around 625. Your guesses weren't a million miles away, were they?
I think another 4 or 5 acres of land, and it could be within our budget and just what we're looking for, really, so...
Well, look, have a look around the outbuildings again. Go and have a look at everywhere you haven't yet seen in the house.
Yeah.
Because this is, you know, it's a learning process, isn't
Definitely,
it?
yeah.
What can you put up with? Where are you prepared to maybe cut the corners off your search criteria?
Yeah.
And I'll meet you whenever you're finished.
Great.
All right?
Yeah.
Thank
See you
you.
in a moment.
Cheers.
Yeah.
Well, dare I say it, this is the first step where we start to think about compromise. What parts of the jigsaw are Steve and Anna prepared to maybe leave behind? It's interesting.
The converted farmhouse comes in well under budget at £590,000 and gives them 3 bedrooms, the master with ensuite, a generous kitchen diner, a living room, a barn which could be suitable for their business idea, set in an acre of land, all within reasonable distance from Steve's family in Warrington.
I love the open plan kitchen diner. That's really nicely done, and the door's kind of straight outside so that, you know, if we had the kids, they could be straight out into the garden or patio area. That's perfect, and it's really nicely done in this house.
Parts of the business could potentially work. There's a good barn space that you could develop, and you could probably see 3 or 4 different types of animals in there. My main concern is around the land that the property comes with. It's not leaving much to develop the business in the future, longer term.
So, seen enough?
Yeah?
Yeah,
I think so, yeah.
Enjoy that?
Yeah, it's good. It's a good first start, I think, yeah.
Yeah.
OK. Well, let's keep going then.
Brilliant.
Onward and
Thank you.
upward.
Yeah.
Agriculture is rooted in Cheshire's rural heritage. However, since the 1900s, the face of farming in Britain has witnessed huge change due to industrial progress. In 1973, a national charity, the Rare Breed Survival Trust, was established to conserve and protect rare native breeds from dying out. And since its formation, no native livestock breed has become extinct in the UK. Across the country, there are 17 farm parks that have received an award for their commitment to the conservation, breeding and promotion of our endangered species of farm animals. One such place is the Tatton Home Farm in Knutsford, who were awarded a Rare Breeds accreditation in 2007. Mindful of Steve and Anna's plan to develop a visitor attraction, we've arranged for them to meet Jane Chapman, the farm's manager of 24 years, who will give them a feel for the day-to-day running of the centre.
What rare breeds do you have here at the farm?
So we've got nearly all the rare breeds of pigs. We've got the Saddlebacks, Tamworths, Berkshires, Middle Whites and Gloucester Old Spots. We've got Clydesdale and Shires, loads of rare breeds, poultry, sheep, you name it, and I think we've got it.
So how do you educate the public about the rare breeds on the farm?
Well, we do lots of hands-on, really. I think that's important. The best way for children to learn is to either brush the horse, or we actually get the chicks out. We have an incubator in the hatchery, and we hatch out all the rare breeds of chickens and ducks.
Right.
And we get them out and talk about the breeds and the place they play in today's society of farming. And lots of fun things. That's the most important way of learning things, I think, isn't it? To have fun.
How many people does it take to run a farm like this?
Well, we've got 5 full-time members of staff, so they're in 2 teams of 2 and myself. But we're lucky enough to have lots of volunteers here. We have some National Trust volunteers and also lots of work experience, and they make a huge difference. They fill all the waters, they bring round bales of hay and everything, really, just making the place tick, really. They're invaluable, all of them.
Once part of the Edgerton estate, the farm served the family mansion up until 1958, when the last Baron, Maurice, bequeathed the estate to the National Trust. Today, it's still an authentic working farm using traditional farming methods, but it's also open to the public as a visitor attraction, with a play barn, woodland trail, and a variety of animals to interact with. The pigs are a firm favourite, and Steve and Anna are helping with Myrtle, a middle white sow, and her 9 3-week-old piglets who need some exercise.
So how many piglets can you expect from a litter?
A sow should have 2 litters every year, so you could get up to 20 piglets, so plenty to keep you busy, I think, Steve.
And which ones are best with the public?
Well, I always feel it's not so much down to the breed, it's how much they're handled. If you handle them from day one, they'll be absolutely fine with yourselves, your children, and any other people you introduce them to. So what you put in, you certainly get out of animals, I think.
Our dream would be to have something like this on a smaller scale. Have you got any advice for us?
Well, Anna, I think you need to research the breeds and see what type of land you're going to buy, really. Whether you buy sheep or cattle, really, depends on what farm you're going to purchase. But it's a really good lifestyle. I think it's a great thing you're going to do, and I wish you lots of luck with it.
Thank you.
Now that Anna and Steve have become acquainted with some of the UK's rare animal breeds, we're ready to show them hopefully another rare example, this time of the property variety, as our house search continues. For our second house, we're heading around 13 miles further south to the village of Calverley, taking us about 40 minutes from Steve's family farm in Warrington. Close by is the village of Tarporley. Once a staging post for the London to Chester coach, its high street developed during the 18th and 19th centuries, and as one of Cheshire's larger villages, it offers an array of independent shops to service the surrounding rural community. Around 5 miles down the road is the village of Calverley, a rural setting where we find house number 2.
Now, the weather's against me. Hoping you won't be with house number 2.
Looks interesting.
Nice.
But it's a totally different style, and it's certainly a totally different shape that you've got here. Look at the location.
Yeah, well, I don't think it's not very far from the Tarporley village, which is
lovely.
a lovely village. So
Yeah. What do you think of how it looks?
It looks quite quirky, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It's, plenty of character there, though.
Yeah. Let me show you inside.
Yeah.
Okay, right.
Property 2 has been formed from part of the stables and barn that once serviced a former manor house that originally stood near this site. The impressive entrance hall has a period feel and stone mullioned windows.
So, into your kitchen.
Ah.
I'm not blown away by this kitchen. Well, you know, sort of layout, having room for a table and chairs, but in terms of kind of style of units and the...
No, it's a bit more
kind of
old farmhouse.
Yeah.
So not your cup of tea at the moment,
No.
but space
Right.
to make it?
Yeah, yeah.
All right.
Yeah, it's got, big enough room to, you can change the cupboards and things, can't you?
So just through that door, you've got a utility room, and then you've got a guest suite, if you like. So you've got an ensuite, shower room and loo, double bedroom, and then upstairs you've got a storeroom and another room in there as well for maybe an office or a single bed.
Okay. Yeah.
OK, Let's keep going through.
Yeah.
Great.
There we go. One step.
Back across the entrance hall, we head through the dining room and on into the sitting room.
So, after you've walked through the banqueting room, here we are.
It's nice, isn't it? It's really grand.
Yeah,
I think,
it's quite impressive, yeah.
It'd look lovely at Christmas.
You know,
All the presents underneath.
you do think of Christmas when you come into this house
Yeah,
for some
yeah.
reason. Now, you might be wondering why we've got a different level there.
Yeah.
This was like the pump house underneath, really. So you've got lower ground cellar with lovely brick arches, which is still quite dry, which you access from outside. And that roof of that cellar is where this gym-style flooring is, up to there.
Okay.
You have a little Christmas pantomime for the performances.
The play.
Yeah. OK, so I think now you seem to be warming up
Yeah.
to this
Yeah.
house a bit more. So let's go and have a look at the bedroom, because that's at this end of the house as well. So I
Okay.
feel like we're on the right path now.
Yeah.
Upstairs are 3 bedrooms. 2 and 3 are served by a family shower room. And there's the master.
So, right above where we were stood in the living room, we get the master
Yeah.
bedroom.
Nice beams.
A lot of character.
Yeah.
Just,
Thanks, isn't it?
It's a pretty spectacular bedroom, isn't it?
I
yeah.
think so, yeah.
Yeah.
That's his ensuite, is there, up there? And...
Yeah. Ensuite
That's good news,
bathroom
yeah.
only.
Right.
There is also a family bathroom.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, the more I see of this house, the more I like it, really.
Yeah.
So.
You agree, Anna?
Yeah, I'd like to see, you know, what the other rooms are
Yeah.
like and, you know, the rest of the house. But, yeah, I could see us living here.
I almost feel like you're holding something back because with the first house you didn't get the land year after.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, this time you do. Unfortunately, it means you've got to go outside in that. So it's brolly time.
Yeah.
Come on.
It's the grounds that will sell this property to them. A south-facing garden leads on to equestrian facilities, including a stable block and paddocks, ideal for their prospective new business.
Now then, in for a bit of a treat, because all this is included.
Well,
Okay.
This
paddocks
paddock.
and...
Yeah.
Paddock next door,
Okay.
right at the back, that paddock.
Yeah.
It's as far as the trees.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But this post rail fence here,
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's all set up for a livery business.
Yeah. It's got everything here that you'd need. Obviously, they've got horses already, haven't they? So
They
it's,
have had
Yeah.
them, yeah.
Yeah.
There's one pony still
Yeah, there's
trotting
one there.
around, yeah.
Yeah.
But
I mean, the obvious thing is do more with the equestrian side, but obviously the more petting zoo, there's no reason why, if you've got the land, you couldn't do something along them lines either.
Yeah.
So it does open up a lot more opportunities.
how much do you think this place is on the market for then?
I'm going to go top end of our budget. I'm going to say 650.
Okay. Steve?
I'd probably say slightly over our budget, maybe 660.
Well, it's actually for sale for offers around £585,000.
That's surprising.
Yeah. That's quite interesting.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gives some breathing space, doesn't
Yeah.
it?
Yeah, and it does, certainly, if there's an option
And this
to
is-
look at more
yeah.
land, you know.
Well, look, I think, you know, this is bigger than the first house, more land than the first house, remarkably cheaper than the first as well. But there's still a lot to think about, isn't there? There's, you know, there's the home element, but also this business enterprise you're thinking about. So when you go back into the house,
Yeah.
have a look at the areas you haven't yet seen, but maybe come back out and have a look at the land. I mean,
Yeah.
obviously not particularly dressed like landowners at the moment, but if you can brave the weather, it might be an idea to have a look
Yeah.
around your boundary and see what you might be able to do with it.
Thank
Brilliant.
you.
See you in a moment.
Thank you.
House 2 has bags of character and is priced under budget at £585,000, giving them 4 bedrooms, with one located in a downstairs guest suite, a large kitchen diner, a spacious sitting room, ready-made equestrian facilities for their possible business venture, in a rural setting and a reasonable distance to family in Warrington.
The business opportunity here is much more what I had in mind, just because it's got the land, it's got the startings of an equestrian business that you could grow into more of a petting zoo.
The living area, you know, the wood-burning stove, it feels much warmer, you know, cosy house, and I could really see us living and spending time in the living space.
So, you decide which field the rhino's going to go in. Good place, isn't it?
Yeah?
Yeah, it is. It's certainly a property that, you know, first impressions, I think it's certainly grown on us the more we've seen, really. So.
Well, hopefully you've got something to think about tonight, because that's all we're going to see today, so let's get that.
Okay.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
It's the second day of our property hunt in Cheshire with Steve and Anna from the city of Leeds, who have £650,000 to spend on their country home and new venture. Coming up, we pondered the ideal animal for the mystery house.
Mountain goats, I was thinking.
Yeah.
And I visit one of Cheshire's most iconic structures that literally dominates the local landscape.
Well, I think we've got a property in the bag, so this morning we can afford to take a bit of a gamble, which, let's face it, that's what the mystery property is all about, isn't it? Now, the house itself is very stylish, but I think the real gamble comes outside. Sure, it's got enough land for animals, but they might need to be mounting goats. And another thing, it's not actually in Cheshire.
For the mystery house, we're heading 30 miles east from Calverley, stepping over the border into Staffordshire to the farming community of Swithamley, putting them around an hour away from Warrington.
So, here we are. Welcome to Staffordshire. The reason we brought you here is this, the Peak District National Park. It's the oldest national park in Britain, founded in about 1951. But it's just beautiful, and it's so accessible to you and to everyone else. One of the ideas was that while we're focusing on, you know, a place to bring up your children, you want a rural existence, what better place than a national park? We've taken this gauntlet that you've laid down, this rural idyll, and we've run with it. And as you can see, we ran all the way to Staffordshire. Let's see if you want to run back to Cheshire after you've seen this house, shall we?
Okay.
Yeah, great.
Yeah.
Thank you.
The property lies about a mile from the peaceful village of Winkle, which straddles the beautiful River Dane. It offers up a traditional pub as well as a local brewery. Just down a lane nearby, we're going out on a limb with our mystery house. It's a stunning architect-designed home with contemporary interior set in a dramatic rural position. I'm hoping that any location concerns will be blown away by this bold and beautiful building.
Now then, right in the heart of the national park, we find the mystery property. We've got, well, parts of what was a one up, one down, really, dating back to 1635. And a few years ago, the current owner bought this, well, derelict property off a local farmer and built that on.
Right.
And everything you see is basically the hard work of the current owners.
Right.
Right.
It's cool, isn't it?
It's interesting the way it's all built into the land there.
I mean, you're used to the countryside, you're brought up on a farm.
Yeah.
But this is hillside farming, isn't it? It's middle of nowhere.
So remote as it gets, really, yeah.
You bothered? Are you concerned?
Yeah.
Honest answer.
You said you wanted honesty.
Yeah, absolutely. One of the reasons why this property was chosen for you, because inside for a young family, we thought this was amazing living space.
Okay.
Let's see if you agree, shall we? Okay.
Although they have concerns about the location, I'm hoping the fantastic interior will sway them.
You've got a very nice reception area there, but then things get very cool, contemporary in the new part.
Good space, isn't it? Very
Nice
light,
views,
great
yeah.
views. Yeah, you wouldn't expect to find this in the Peak District.
I mean, it's very cool, very contemporary. It's not for everyone.
Yeah.
How about you guys?
I like it. I like the style.
Let's go to the kitchen next.
Yeah.
We'll go through this way.
Okay.
A glazed roof passageway runs the length of the original property, linking the living room, entrance hall and the kitchen diner.
So, the uber cool theme continues in the kitchen.
It's very modern, isn't it?
It is very modern, yeah. It's probably, then you've got the big
The wood-burning.
wood-burning fireplace. It's
Spitting away, as you can hear. I mean, that's been put in recently. It's obviously not original.
yeah.
But again, you've got the fusion of old and new. You've got that massive range there as well.
Yeah.
It's a great space, you know, big open plan. We do like, we have plenty of room for a big dining room table.
It's a bit stark, I think, for my taste.
Yeah,
it doesn't feel like a home, really.
I'm starting to get the feeling that you don't really like this contemporary style as well, this minimalist style.
Yeah, probably not. Quite like the modern style.
Well, let's go and have a look at a bedroom upstairs.
Okay.
Let's hope there's a bit more furniture in there.
Downstairs is completed by a utility room and cloakroom. There is also a large bedroom with ensuite and walk-through wardrobe and dressing area, which could serve as the master or a guest suite. However, upstairs are options with 2 more double bedrooms.
Now, this upstairs is the master bedroom, mainly because you get direct access to that amazing bathroom, which is a Jack and Jill. I mean, you can get to it from the other side.
Yeah.
So the far bedroom can use it as well.
Right.
Okay. I'm liking this bit a bit more.
Yeah, it's nice, this bedroom.
It feels more traditional, doesn't
Yeah,
it?
it does, yeah.
It feels like this mystery house so far has pushed you too far the other way. I know you said you liked sort of like modern, contemporary interiors, but this is bordering on the avant-garde, isn't it, I suppose?
But then I don't know if you'd have shown us this where we were yesterday in terms of location. I know the price would be different, but if I might feel differently.
Yeah, it's a good point.
I don't know what's swaying it.
What's swaying your feelings at the moment is,
Yeah.
is this location being quite remote.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's go back outside and talk about that,
Okay.
and then think about price as well.
Yeah.
Great.
OK.
The grounds are extensive, with lawns opening out into hillside and wooded areas. However, it remains to be seen whether they can envisage a business in this location.
So, here's the views. And I can explain now what land you get. You get about 5.85 acres off memory over here. So it follows this tree line across. There's a little post and wire fence, down past the 3rd telegraph pole, and then up the hill. So what you see here, twice as much again, if you like.
Right.
Okay.
Mountain goats, I was thinking.
Yeah.
So how much do you think the mystery house is on the market for?
I'd probably say around about 630, something like that.
OK. Anna?
I'm going to go a bit lower, I think, just given the kind of rural side of things. I'm going to say 590.
Well, the asking price is offers around £650,000.
Okay.
So, good guess.
You win.
I win.
Yeah. It's as I said, it's the mystery property is here to challenge you. This has done that and maybe a bit too much in that way. So that's it. That's all we're going to have a look at.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But whilst we're here in this beautiful national park setting, why don't you go and have a look around, and I'll meet you back out here whenever you're done.
Okay.
Great.
All right.
Thank you.
See you in a bit.
Thank you.
My mum always said you should never gamble. She was right.
This cool mystery house is on the market for £650,000 and gives them stacks of contemporary features, with 3 bedrooms, 1 with ensuite, a massive living room, a large kitchen with dining area, almost 6 acres of land, in a rural location with stunning views of the Peak District.
The land that it comes obviously is very hilly. It limits you to what animals you could have on the farm. Therefore, it would limit what business we could have as well.
I mean, there's fantastic views and scenery, but in terms of kind of getting, you know, in the snow to a village shop or walking the kids to the school in this sort of location, I kind of struggle to picture that.
I could see us coming visiting a place like this and, you know, staying here for a couple of weeks over the summer, with doing it week to week, day in, day out through the winter, you know, and commuting anywhere. I'm just not sure it would fit with our lifestyle, really.
Well then, seen enough of this contemporary abode?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
OK. Well, you probably only got one property to think about, but there's enough to go through your minds, I think. So
Yeah.
why don't you go off and have a chat, and I'll catch up with you later on.
Yeah.
OK?
Thank you.
See you in a bit.
Rearing up from the Cheshire Plain, the Lovell Telescope at Jodrell Bank can be seen from miles around. It's dominated the local landscape since 1957, and with Grade 1 listed status, is an icon of science and engineering. Named after its creator, Bernard Lovell, it has real standing on the International Astronomy Circuit. To find out more about the observatory and the discoveries this world-famous telescope has made, I've come to meet Associate Director, Professor Tim O'Brien.
So, Tim, after years of seeing this from miles away, we're now right up close to it. How far can it see?
The distances in space are so vast they're almost impossible to imagine. And travelling at 300,000 kilometres every single second, we can see stuff that actually those radio waves have taken billions of years to reach us. They're billions of light years away. That huge ball that you see there behind us is collecting radio waves across its whole area, and it's sort of focusing them together, collecting them at a point that's at the top of the tower in the centre. Yeah. And that gives it huge power because it's collecting it over such a large area. But those radio waves are things that have been generated by, you know, distant galaxies, by exploding stars, by stars being born, even planets actually around other stars being formed.
The creator of the telescope, Bernard Lovell, originally experimented with radar at the University of Manchester, but that was ruined by radio interference from local trams. So he moved out of the city to the University Botanical Gardens at Jodrell Bank and never left. We're off inside to the telescope control room, the original from the 1950s.
So what current projects are on the go here at the moment?
I mean, with the big Lovell telescope, there's a network of telescopes across the UK. We call it E-Merlin, which is 7 radio telescopes connected by optical fibres. The signals from each of them are brought back to here, to a supercomputer, where we combine them and make images of the radio sky.
So have you got anywhere we can look at some of this new data coming back?
Yeah, I can show you an image that we've just taken recently.
Perfect. All right, let's look at that, shall we?
Okay.
Jodrell Bank leads the way in radio astronomy-related research. Objects that were discovered in space decades ago can now be revisited in even greater detail.
So, Tim, this is all part of the E-Merlin project?
Yeah, I mean, here are where the E-Merlin networks are in the country. So each of those telescopes there, 7 of them, is actually represented on this control screen here by these circles. So the controller that's on duty can actually check how each telescope is working, what it's doing, how that network is bringing the data back here to Jodrell.
This data is converted into an image that gives us a clearer picture of an object light years away.
What you're seeing here is a combination of a radio image with E-Merlin, which is the coloured stuff here, and also an image with the Hubble Space Telescope, which is showing you these 2 bright things here. The object itself, it's a quasar, distant galaxy with a supermassive black hole, we discovered back in 1979. But of course you can build a new instrument and you can go back and look at things that you already knew about. You see them, it's like putting on a new pair of glasses and you see a better view of something that you knew existed already.
I must say, Tim, it's been absolutely fascinating. I'm now off for a lie down, but thank you very, very much. Bye-bye.
Okay.
It's a remarkable insight into the universe and the amazing equipment out in the countryside we use to monitor it. For now, though, let's put stargazing aside to catch up with our house hunters.
Well, it's pretty clear there's only one property up for serious consideration. So after a bit of thinking time, let's find out from Steve and Anna what they plan to do about it. Well, the sun's come out. Beautiful up here, isn't it?
Lovely, yeah.
So I've got a fair idea which of the properties is your favourite, but just to confirm...
Property 2, isn't it?
Yeah. Why?
I think in terms of location, you know, it's close enough to Steve's mum and dad's, and also, you know, close to a big village, and so it's got that kind of access as well, and potential to possibly grow business.
Now you've had a good look around that house and come away from there, I mean, what changes do you think you'd like to make to it?
I think the kitchen wouldn't take a lot to improve it and just personalise it and make, you know, to our taste. Certainly the idea of maybe putting a orangery on the front, let more light in, it would give us certainly more space in the dining room, and within our budget we can probably afford to do that. So
the house, all that land, what are you going to do with it?
Initially probably developing the stable side, because it's obviously got stables there.
I think they've done liveries there before, yes.
Obviously longer term we would like to introduce some other animals and potentially open that up to, you know, the public to come and visit.
Come on, what sort of animals?
Some pigs, some goats, rabbits.
Yeah, fairly ones that kids like.
Yeah. So, what's the next step for you both?
I think we've got to do a bit of research on property number 2, about sort of whether we could get planning to kind of expand or build a business on that property, and then access as well, because it's quite a kind of single track road to get to the house. So if we were looking to ask visitors to come, you know, what options are there, or what planning do we need for that side of things? So I think it would be, yeah, doing some research.
Well, it's a big step you're making. I mean, the very first next step is a second viewing, isn't it, of course? But then there's phone calls, research, there's legwork going around the area. So I wish you the very best of luck with that. But do please let us know what you decide.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Good luck.
Cheers.
Well, after giving us a fairly general outline, Steve and Anna seem very focused on what they're after now. And by the sounds of it, it's property number 2. The good thing, I think, is that both of them seem very practical on what to do next. Not only are they saying they're going for a second viewing, but more importantly, they're going to have a look around the whole area, meet the neighbours, look for local competition, but perhaps most importantly, speak to the local authorities, speak to the planners and see what they think about the idea of them running a business. And then hopefully, if they get positive answers to all their inquiries, then maybe they'll be making their move here to Cheshire, not only for an escape to the country, but for the whole family, a much more rural existence. See you next time.
Steve and Anna liked house number 2, but after looking further into their proposed business venture, decided the equestrian facilities didn't provide all that they needed, so they're continuing their search. If you'd like to escape to the country in England, Wales, Northern Ireland, Scotland, or even further afield to the continent and need our help, please apply online at bbc.co.uk/be-on-a-show.
Back in the late 19th century, the son of the local rector used to scale the heights of this tower. He went on to become one of England's most famous mountaineers. Find out who he was and where he practised in just a few moments.
On the show today, we're helping an entrepreneurial couple flee city life and find a new dream home and a new business in the country. There are discussions over where the in-laws will stay.
You do get a barn?
OK, yeah.
And plans are afoot for Santa's arrival.
We'll put a Christmas tree up there.
All the presents underneath.
Today I'm in Cheshire, and behind me is St Wilfrid's Church in the village of Mobley, where George Mallory was born and spent his childhood years. Mallory set his sights on being the first man to climb the highest mountain in the world, Everest. Whether or not he reached the summit remains a mystery, though, as on June 1924, during his final ascent, he got caught in a snowstorm and was never seen alive again. When his body was eventually discovered, much later in 1999, it was missing one vital piece of equipment, his camera. And many believe, until that's found, we'll never truly know whether or not he was successful.
For the past 10 years, Steve and Anna have lived in the city of Leeds, but have decided to leave the bustle of urban life behind and head out to the country.
I think now's the right time because it's a stage where the kids are going to school, and also I think it's a lifestyle choice as well. I think the main difference it's going to have is certainly on the kids and the upbringing that they get. Where we live here in Leeds, it's 2 miles outside of the city centre, and it's a much different lifestyle than living in a more rural environment.
Family ties have dictated the location for the new home.
Ideally, I'd like to move to North Cheshire. That's where my parents have got a family farm that I grew up on.
Their desire to move is linked to their plan to start their own business.
We realised that there's an opportunity in terms of kind of farms, and it's the sort of thing that we would travel to go and do, is to take the children to a farm.
And also, you know, maybe around the equestrian type business, because that's the current business that my family have got.
The whole family is excited by the prospect of a new lifestyle.
Joseph's 3.5 now, and Holly's just turned 19 months. Holly can already say tractor. She knows lots of the animal kind of noises and things like that. And Joseph is already saying we might get goats when we move house. So I think they are starting to get excited.
But they're not looking for the archetypal farming lifestyle.
Somewhere that's within easy reach of a small town, or we don't want to be too far remote.
I think I probably would stay in the job I've got at Leeds and see how commuting goes.
And what do they have to spend on their rural relocation?
The budget for this move is £650,000.
Our buyers have asked us to focus our search in the north of the county, to be within reasonable distance of Steve's family in Warrington. But before we begin our property hunt, I'm meeting them in Cheshire to learn more about what they're after in their new home and business venture.
So, as a farmer's son, growing up on a farm, this is What, a return to your roots, isn't it, Steve?
Yeah, it is, yeah. My parents have got we've got a family farm over in Cheshire, and that's where I grew up 20 years, and then we moved over to Yorkshire, and we've been there since, so yeah, it will be a move back to my roots.
Well, let's talk about the house first, OK? How big does it need to be?
We've got 2 children, so ideally 4 beds.
What are you looking for from your living spaces?
Well, hopefully open plan kitchen diner. You know, we've got that at the moment, and we do spend quite a lot of time in the kitchen, and then maybe doors out to the garden from there. That's what we've got, and it